duPre Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. Our first topic has nothing to do with the fact that Ande drives from Carson City to Reno every day. She's got the rundown.
Sam, just when are they going to take away those orange cones along 395? Today we talked to Jeff Fontaine, Director of the Department of Transportation, to get some answers to a lot of these questions. And California, you're not the only state to have a movie star in public office. Guy Rocha joins us to fill us in. Sam?
Thanks, Ande. And coming up on the pundit panel today, Pam duPre, Greg Krause, Ray Hagar, and Alfredo Alonso. It's all coming up next on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Catch us straight, dine at 8. Lucky you. Lucky you. Dance till 1, have some fun. Lucky you. Lucky you. Taste the shrimp, have a sip, try the pool, play it cool. At the Sienna Hotel Spa Casino. Lucky you. Yeah!
The biggest risk your company can take.
Well, Barbara, you did very well on your interview.
Hiring employees can help your business get to the next level.
And your resume looks outstanding.
And it can also expose you to corporate crimes and costly lawsuits that can bring your company to its knees.
So, we'd like to offer you a position.
Before you hire another employee, hire the professionals at Employer Links. Call today to get our free CD-ROM, the top 8 risk of hiring employees.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Ande Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
Welcome back to Nevada Newsmakers. Jeff Fontaine heads up the Nevada Department of Transportation. It's a pleasure to have you here. And my first question is, I've seen the wall that the Israelis are building between Israel and the Palestinians, and it seems that the wall that is on I-80 coming out of Reno going towards Sparks is actually twice as high as that. Was that really necessary to completely knock out Rail City's view of the freeway?
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. And as far as that wall...
I'm glad you said that. Thank you.
As far as the wall is concerned, it is necessary. And it's necessary because whenever we do major construction work like we are with the Spaghetti Bowl here in Reno, we need to take a look at the impacts of our construction, widening the freeway, and those types of things on the adjacent neighborhoods. And in this particular case, along Interstate 80, next to where Rail City is, there is a residential neighborhood, and our models determine that the noise impacts to those neighbors are above an acceptable threshold. And imagine living next to an interstate freeway, and you can probably appreciate how noisy that might be. So the size of the walls are based on the models to try to mitigate the noise for those neighbors who have lived there for many, many years, having to
Is there
deal with
something
the
you can
impact.
do to mitigate the impact on Rail City? Because I'm sure it's going to be a huge impact.
Well, we have met with Rail City and have looked at a number of options that perhaps could help them. We're still in discussions. I know that the major impact, of course, is their sign being obscured behind the wall, and perhaps one option might be to try to raise the height of that sign. That's something, of course, that needs to be worked out with the City of Sparks. But we've also talked about it, some other options in terms of perhaps changing the configuration of the wall at a later date.
You know, actually, Sam, I tell you, my mother in Florida owned a home that was near a freeway, and the wall wasn't big enough and thick enough. She had trouble selling her home because of the noise from the freeway. So I imagine that there's a lot of homeowners that are grateful for that wall.
Okay, last question on this topic. Are you going to make the wall pretty when it's finished?
Well, we have some designs built into the wall now. We have a little mountainscape design on the bottom, and we're looking at some enhancements to that on the upper half of the wall to put in some additional designs to enhance the aesthetics of that wall.
Can you put some vines or something like that? You know, grow something?
Well, we have a plan statewide to look at how we would landscape along freeways, and I'm not sure vines are necessarily the type of vegetation that we're looking at. We're looking at more drought-tolerant types of landscaping along our Nevada freeways.
Okay, you can talk more about landscaping after the show, okay? You've got important topics here. Go for it.
Right. Well, speaking of along freeways, as Sam announced at the beginning of the show, I drive 395 twice a day, and there's orange cones just about the entire length of 395 between Carson City and Reno, and sometimes there's actual construction going on too, and sometimes there isn't. But of course, anybody driving in there has got to pay twice the fine for a speeding ticket because it's got orange cones along the way. So how long are these orange? Is this a fundraiser? I mean,
No, it's not a fundraiser. And of course, the joke is that there are two seasons in Nevada. There's winter season and there's the construction season. And fortunately for our department, if the contractor is working on that job, we've had a very favorable autumn, of course, and we're very happy about the nice temperatures. And that enables the contractor to pave longer during the construction season. May not be so convenient for the motorists, but that way we hope we can finish up these jobs. And as far as what we're doing, we're just about finished up with the piece in Pleasant Valley. I drove through there this morning, and they're putting up some new guardrail. It's a great safety enhancement for that stretch of the highway. They have completed doing the major paving on that portion of the freeway, and they'll have to probably come back next year and put on that final what we call open grade. It's that last layer of pavement. That'll be done next year. As far as the piece further in town between Brown School and South Meadows Parkway, we hope to have that finished up in the next few weeks.
Okay. So when are the cones being taken away?
As soon as the project is completely finished, and I would think probably within the next
And Andy
next month.
never speeds. I got a quick question for you here because we're starting to run out of time. And that NHP officer told me you definitely weren't speeding. Anyway, to move on, obviously there are huge needs in Southern Nevada as far as roads. I mean, the city is just growing unbelievably quickly. It's already up to 1.5 million people. Obviously, there are great needs in the southern portion of the state. How is that going to impact Northern Nevada? Are we going to end up being pushed a little bit aside for projects in Southern Nevada, especially as you now have a director down there?
Well, as you stated, there's just tremendous transportation needs in Southern Nevada. But we have not forgotten about Northern Nevada. In fact, yesterday we broke ground for completion of the first phase of the Carson Freeway. We had a wonderful groundbreaking with the governor, and we're committed to continuing and completing that project. We hope to award a contract for the first phase of the freeway connecting Reno to Carson City, the I-580 freeway extension. We hope to have that underway here in the next several months. Those are two very large projects. Not to mention what we've got going on now with reconstruction of the Spaghetti Bowl here in town. I know that we're working with the RTC on some other projects like the Clear Acre Interchange. There's a number of projects that we have.
What are your dates for getting these things completed?
In your lifetime.
Yeah, right.
Most certainly we expect to have these projects completed in your lifetime. We have accelerated these projects because of the governor's commitment and support for us.
What dates do you forecast?
We are looking at probably about 2009 for completion of both the Carson Freeway and the extension of the freeway from Reno to Carson City.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right. Thanks for putting up with us. We appreciate you being here. You're welcome back anytime. Okay. We'll be back on Nevada Newsmakers
wait.
with Guy Rocha. You don't have to run. We'll be right back after this. He doesn't bite, I swear.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Terry.
And this is Dan's Pizza and Parlor. Everything we make here is from scratch. Our fresh cut fries, homemade hamburgers made to order, fresh pizza dough made with 3 types of flour, and Terry's secret pizza sauce, and Dreyer's world-famous ice cream. And if you have a sports team, your kids can really have a great time here. Oh! Dan's Pizza and Parlor on Victorian Avenue, just down the street from Great Basin Brewery next to Pyramid Highway.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at D'Andrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South D'Andrea Parkway in Sparks.
Welcome to Sushi Club, best sushi in town. The Sushi Club in Independence Square used the best quality products. The sushi is dynamite, and the service is just wonderful.
The Sushi Club is bigger and better. We have 11 sushi chefs on staff, and the service is great.
All your friends will tell you that Sushi Club is the best place for the best sushi.
Come join us for lunch or dinner.
The Sushi Club, 294 East Moana Lane in the Independence Square.
Now that's great sushi.
To experience the royal cuisine of India, you need some serious magic or simply transport yourself to India Garden, right here in Reno, where you'll discover Indian specialties refined over centuries. Seekh kebab, tandoori dishes cooked in our own tandoor oven, biryani specialties, curries, fresh-baked Indian bread, over a dozen vegetarian dishes, even dishes rare to India like dosa, South Indian-style crepes. India Garden off South Virginia near Sports West. We are India.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, when we don't include a piece of information, our historian calls us and says, hey, you missed something. Guy Rocha is here to fill us in.
We are not the only state that has, California is not the only state that has a movie star as their governor. We had a movie star hold public office here in Nevada, right?
We did, and that's the point that we had a gentleman by the name of Rex Bell, kind of an action hero, cowboy figure from the 20s and 1930s, who ran for Congress and lost in 1944, but was our lieutenant governor from 1955 until he died running for the governor's office in 1962 against Grant Sawyer, and having a real good chance of beating Grant Sawyer in that year.
Now, we have some pictures that the home audience can see of Rex Bell. He was a cowboy. Was a cowboy star.
Cowboy star. He had Western wear clothing stores both in Las Vegas and Reno. He had
and that's a picture of his wife.
Clara Bow, the it girl.
The it girl.
By the way, may I point out, for the people listening to KOH right now, you will not be seeing these pictures.
Right, okay. Thank you.
Just want to point
difficult on radio. Yes.
And Clara Bow, the it girl, stood for sex back in the 20s, the 1920s, and that's when she was a really big star and considered quite sexy.
She was a babe.
She was a babe. I'll take your word.
So they meet up together on a movie set, true to the Navy in 1930. They elope in 1931. He has a ranch in the Searchlight area south of Las Vegas.
And there's a picture of them together.
Yes, there they are. And he begins his political career in 1944, but again, he's unsuccessful. He loses to Berkeley Bunker at that time, but he comes back. He was an extremely popular lieutenant governor. He was kind of our ambassador to the nation. He'd be at the El Dorado Parade, Reno Rodeo Parade, Nevada Day Parade, Palomino Horse, beautiful silver saddle, and all the rest of that.
I think this is some campaign material.
Yes, there's Lieutenant Governor, I love you. Governor.
Okay, well, now the big question is, he was popular, but was he effective?
Well, effective as lieutenant governor, it's pretty easy to be an effective lieutenant governor.
Okay, fine. I'm sorry, current lieutenant governor might disagree with you about that.
Well, and the duties have changed. I mean, this is very much a ceremonial job till very recently. Now there's been given responsibility for tourism. Essentially, when he was picked for his personality. Isn't that new with television and motion?
And his good looks.
Very good looking. But as far as his platform, other than presiding over the Senate, he didn't really have much of a track record. And he died of a heart attack on July 4th, 1962. He hadn't even identified his platform yet. So we didn't know what he stood for. We did know people were prepared to vote against Grant Sawyer.
And there's what the audience is seeing is newspaper reports of his death, his sudden death, and a picture of Clara Bow, his widow.
A continuity in the family, right?
Yeah, the son was a Clark County DA for 2 terms. He still lives down in southern Nevada, so there is continued political activity in the family.
All right, I want to change gears on you a little bit here, and from the presidential historian point of view. President Bush is going out and meeting with the regional press and bypassing the national press. And there aren't too many regional press that have a program like this where we just kind of go at it. And so he's going to get a lot, yes, Mr. President, no, Mr. President, and whatever he says is going to be out there. Have we seen this previously with other presidents?
Well, you asked me this off the air, and I thought back and looking at all the research I've done, newspaper research and studying biographies of presidents. It's unusual. I have not encountered an effort to bypass API, UP, the national television, national radio. So I think this is a very different tactic that it looks like he's establishing a precedent with this one.
Well, he should come on our show. I remember when we had Frank Luntz, of course, as a national figure, came on our show figuring that we were a couple of hick reporters, and we now call what we did to him luntzing someone. So, and I did send a message to Greg Ferraro and told him that if the president would like to come on our show, we will not ask him whether or not he's been interviewed by the FBI. And so, he's pretty safe.
But we would ask him the same questions that he would get from the national media. I mean, it's just very interesting to me that he is choosing to avoid the national press because, Dan Rather or Tom Brokaw are going to ask tougher questions than a
I
local
suspect
reporter.
that he's being advised that it'll be an easier sell at the regional or local level because obviously there's a lot of scrutiny at the national and international level.
Yeah, we're just happy to have a president here when he comes, but if he comes on this show, he's going to have to answer some questions.
Well, we haven't had presidents here too often, so I'm sure you'd enjoy having him on the Nevada Newsmakers.
Absolutely.
And I won't hold my breath until we see
Hey,
him.
we could have him by satellite. That would be fine.
Yeah, right.
We'll see.
Okay, well, thank you.
Always a pleasure. When we come back, Annie's going to tackle a passel of pundits. It's coming up next on Nevada Newsmakers.
Before you head to Carson, take care of yourself with a visit to Tamarack Junction. Catch a hot cup of coffee and the morning news on one of our 32 TVs and enjoy the best food in South Reno. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Today's lesson, another reason to take the Gold Rush Club Card Challenge. With the Gold Rush Card, you really have 3 cards in one. Use your cash back. You still keep your comps and drawing tickets. Use your comps. You still keep your cash and drawing tickets. And with your drawing tickets, you could win thousands in cold hard cash every week. And still keep your cash back and comps. Does your club add up? Graduate to the Gold Rush Players Club. It's the smart thing to do. The Gold Dust West, south on Keystone, east on 4th.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo Free Checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Make your daily commute easy with breakfast or lunch at the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy daily specials, super fast service, and South Reno's freshest morning meals. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And we're here with the pundit panel. Let me introduce you. Greg Krause, thank you for being here, Executive Director of RTC. Alfredo Alonso, Government Affairs at Lionel, Sawyer and Collins. Pam duPre, and she may look familiar to some of our viewers as Pam Drum, used to be with the TRPA, and is the new Executive Director of the Washoe County Democratic Party.
Great to be here.
And we look forward to having you here many times.
I look forward to it.
Thank you. And Ray Hagar with the Reno Gazette-Journal.
Good to be back, Annie.
Okay, well, we're going to start with politics. I guess it's all politics, isn't it? It was reported by the Las Vegas Review-Journal this morning that Wendell Williams, after investigation, an assemblyman from Las Vegas who works for the city of Las Vegas, was paid his full city salary while he was serving at the legislature in the year 2001. What does this say about public? You think the public might have had it now with public employees holding office, and everybody just jump in here, we're not polite?
I don't think so. I mean, this is a citizen legislature. We either have full-time legislators and partisan staff, or we simply continue doing what we're doing and make sure we do a better job of making certain that our legislators are on the up and up. Do I think Wendell is a good legislator? I do. I think he's an excellent legislator. Unfortunately, his personal life, I think, is something that needs to be taken care of.
I would hope that the public, Ande, is not frustrated with the idea of public employees being elected officials. As Alfredo said, this is a citizen legislature. There is no reason, I think, to segregate or somehow discriminate against public employees and deny them some sort of right to run for public office.
Jump in here, Greg.
Well, if we don't have a citizen legislature, what will we have? We will have a legislature of wealthy people, retired people, and unemployed people. And I don't really think that's in the best interest of Nevadans.
Well,
Wendell Williams, yes, he has some transgressions, but I don't think you throw the baby out with the bathwater on this.
So everybody sort of feels like it's okay for public employees to also hold office?
Oh, absolutely.
Even though our
Absolutely.
Constitution has a provision against it.
Alfredo wanted silence.
I don't know how you get around it. I think to say, I believe that if that's the case, it's unconstitutional. I don't know how you can say we have a citizen legislature, but a segment of that citizenry can't run for office. So I would completely and wholeheartedly disagree with that.
If the issue is, what is the issue? Why would public employees be denied the right to
Well,
run
Frankie
for a
Sue
public
Del Papa,
office?
when she was
But,
Attorney General, had Thomas Batten resign his position with the Gaming Control Board when he was elected to the legislature.
There are certain special circumstances, but to allow, to just have a blanket prohibition against public employees holding office is again, there may have been some rationale for that, generations ago, but today, if it's an issue of corruption, we don't, that corruption and greed is now, I think, centered squarely in the private corporate sector in the 21st century.
And I believe what Frankie Sue was speaking to was primarily when you've got folks working for a licensing entity, in this case gaming, where there could be pecuniary interests involved, or Hatch Act interests as well as another issue.
Do they get federal funding? I don't
No,
think
I'm
the
not
Gaming
speaking to that
Control Board
particularly.
gets.
I'm saying that those are two areas where I think they diverge a little bit with the citizen legislature aspect of it. But I think they're unique.
Greg, you've been nice and quiet over there, and I understand, but now I'm going to put you in the hot spot. I've been getting phone calls from Fernley and I think Fallon from people complaining about the fact that they cannot get bus service to Reno. That if they want to shop in Reno, they have to drive here. And who do you talk to about something like that? Who does one go to?
The ability to operate transit service between counties is normally been a state issue. We take care of Washoe County, and when we can, we work with other counties to run service. We do that with Carson City right now. We do that up at Lake Tahoe, actually with the state of California in Placer County. So really the issue is they need to find some funding, and I think the state Department of Transportation has been able to do that throughout the state, raise funds so that there can be services between the counties.
So I should have brought this up with Jeff when I had him.
He's another important source, but it is an issue. People need the ability to get around other than just in their car. And there isn't a lot of, in the past there have been Greyhound service that would run between the cities. Mm-hmm. I thought that was still in place, but I'm sure people are looking for more service.
Well, and these people's point was that, and I even heard from a Lyon County commissioner, the people's point was that they would do a lot more shopping in Reno if they didn't have to drive and spend so much money on gas. And so it seems to me it would be to Washoe County's benefit to try and do something about creating that bus
Absolutely.
service.
And as I said, if they can find some resources, one of our limitations is we depend upon Washoe County taxpayers for our resources to provide public transportation. We can't pay for service in other counties, so they have to make a contribution in order for it to become a reality. That's what happens in Carson City. They're putting up the portion of the money that pays for their service. We pay for the portion in Washoe.
Ray, you've been working on stories about education, just got through working on the legislature. What are you hearing out there? Is the public pretty upset with lawmakers these days or not?
I don't have a good handle on that, Andy. I think we're going to have to wait until the election comes up to see how happy the citizens are with their legislators. Perhaps the whole lot of them will get thrown out, perhaps not. I wonder if Wendell Williams will be re-elected. He's very strong in his district. Everybody outside of his district is upset with him, but I don't know what the pulse is inside his district.
Well, I'm hearing he's going to get re-elected easily. What are you hearing out there, Pam?
Well, there was a lot of debate. There was a lot of complexity to the issues in the last legislative session. There's the whole issue of the 120-day session. Are people upset about having taxes raised? Of course, that's going to be human nature. But are there also people upset who said, we asked you to get your job done within 120 days, and clearly you didn't do that? There are issues, there's still talk of recall. There's this talk about should public employees serve.
Okay, we're just about out of time.
I agree with Ray. I think it remains to be seen. It may depend on what happens.
Wait, real quick. Will the Republicans take the Assembly next time? Just
Yes.
shout out.
Yes.
I think it's too early to see that.
Not if we have anything to do with it.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
That's it. We'll be right back. Time's up.
Big Apple Pizza, best pizza in Nevada, take one.
Today we're making homemade meatballs for a meatball parm. You like cheesesteak? I think you're like in South Philly right now. It's the best cheese ever made. Now that's how a Philly cheesesteak's supposed to look.
And here's little Cole.
This is authentic. We'll throw some pepperoni in here. Not gonna be shy about it. I bet you guys didn't know I could do that. Don't skimp on the toppings. Authentic as it gets. Big Apple Pizza and Subs on the corner of Bering and McCarran. A New Jersey guy who knows how to make an East Coast pizza.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at D'Andrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South D'Andrea Parkway in Sparks.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Terry.
And this is Dan's Pizza and Parlor. Everything we make here is from scratch. Our fresh cut fries, homemade hamburgers made to order, fresh pizza dough made with 3 types of flour, and Terry's secret pizza sauce, and Dreyer's world-famous ice cream. And if you have a sports team, your kids can really have a great time here. Oh! Dan's Pizza and Parlor on Victorian Avenue, just down the street from Great Basin Brewery next to Pyramid Highway.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
If you thought we had too many Democrats on the show, wait till Monday when we have some Republicans. See you then, and thank you for watching.